Hi, everyone. I'm immigration lawyer John Kasravi. Thank you for joining us today. We're having a discussion with former consular officer and immigration attorney Mandy Feuerbacher for episode 177. She was great enough to contribute an article to the Immigration Lawyers Toolbox magazine about how consular processing works, in the sense that how to prepare your clients and the services that people like who are former consular officers provide. So we'll get into that. If you want to get access to the Toolbox magazine, it's free. There'll be a link in the description below, but it's immigrationlawyerstoolbox.com/magazine. I also want to thank our sponsors, in particular, DocuWise. DocuWise, the immigration form and management software. If you go to www.docowise.com/immigration-lawyers-podcast, you'll get additional 10% off the annual plan by just putting in the code Immigration Lawyers Podcast. DocuWise is the software I use. I was using it last night. I use it every day, really, for completing my forms and to track time, and a lot of other features they have. That kind of is a lot for me. I'm a simple guy, so it's so many features. But for people, especially who have larger firms and have to manage more people, it really helps out. Especially if you have clients who, for example, don't have a computer access. They use text messaging. You can even fill out your forms with text messaging. It's wonderful. It's a great thing. So having said that, I want to introduce Mandy. How are you? You've been on the program before, Mandy. Thanks for coming on again.
Thanks so much for having me, John. It's great to be here. And I just want to say what a beautiful issue, the inaugural issue of your magazine, the Immigration Lawyers Toolbox magazine. I loved reading through it. I loved reading other people's contributions as well. So I love participating. Thank you.
You're welcome. And it was great to have so many colleagues come and jump in aboard and help on that. And you were one of the first, so I appreciate that. So for people that don't know, you were a consular officer for many years, working across the globe, including in Mexico and China. And now you're in the U.S. Not only can you practice immigration law, which you do, but also you have a company called Argo, which well, you could talk about it. Let me know, what is Argo about?
Yeah. Thanks for asking. Argo is really the world's first company made up of former consular officers who prepare clients one-on-one for their visa interview to be successful. And so all of our Argo officers are former consular officers, and they've all made decisions on at least 10,000 visa applications.
Wow.
So we have a lot of experience in this area. I know that consular processing and consular interviews tend to be kind of a pain point for many immigration attorneys, just because it is such a black hole. Attorneys can't go in for the interviews. And for us former officers who have worked behind this visa window day in and day out and, made so many decisions over the years, it was something that we really felt we could help immigration professionals with, but also help their clients and make things easier for them.
Wonderful. And recently it was in the news that you started partnering up with Envoy. And I'm not really sure what Envoy is, actually. I was thinking, because I see their name all the time on their newsletter list, but what is Envoy? What kind of partnership do you have? What kind of work are you doing together?
Yeah. So Envoy is really great. Envoy is almost like a pioneer in immigration legal technology. They have this, wonderful platform that helps put everything in one place for big companies that really want to bring over international employees from around the world and attract the best talent. And so they have immigration attorneys who help those clients with their international employees. But, a big part of what they do is really making things easier for the HR professionals of these big companies. And so for us, it was a great, way to team up, because we want to help their clients be successful at their visa interviews. This is something that many international employees are really nervous about. And I think at the end of the day, the visa interview experience itself can be so nerve-wracking for somebody who wants to make sure that they're doing a good job and, not have things misunderstood. And this is really how Argo is going to help. So we love working with Envoy. We're really excited to, be partnering with them.
Yeah. 2020 was kind of a down year because of, the travel bans and all that kind of stuff. So you're going to be, once things open up, you're going to be mad busy. Like, how are you going to handle, how big a portion of your time is your practice, and how much is Argo? Is it going more full-time towards Argo direction?
Yeah, I'm definitely full-time with Argo. In terms of practice, I think really I just try to help out my immigration attorney colleagues with any complicated consular processing issues. Sometimes people will call me and be like, what do we do with this?
Right.
So I do say, like, I practice a lot less now, even though I always sort of have my eyes and ears out open towards complicated consular processing issues. But one of the things that I noticed when I first started practicing immigration law was there's so many amazing attorneys who do this. Why am I fighting for the same clients when really what I know best is consular processing and visa interviews? And this is really sort of where Argo came about. The co-founder asked me to be a part of the company. I was very excited about it. And, every Argo officer, I'm actually an Argo officer myself. So I do these consultations every now and then when my expertise is needed. We really believe in what we're doing and what we're doing to help clients because of all the horrible things we've seen on the other side of the visa window when people really screw up their interviews.
Yeah, when it happens, it's just a mess. And you've helped me recently with one case. I was kind of a disaster situation with a couple, and I wish I'd come to you sooner and talk a little bit earlier, but we're going to try to get it all together. And so, what direction is 2021 going to take for you? I know you got a family, you got kids and stuff. So that's it, with the pandemic. You're in Northern California, so the lockdowns there were more than anyone else.
Yeah.
So between lockdowns and fires and all that kind of stuff, how's life going on in a COVID house, a COVID lockdown household with two twins, or
Mhm.
twins, I guess not two twins.
Yeah.
Things going at home.
Things are going on, they're okay. I think we're surviving like everybody else. I think sometimes my husband and I were like, gosh, like life is so hard right now, but we're really so lucky. We have my mom, she's sheltering in place with us. She's helping us out with the kids, and not many people are that lucky. So I think we constantly have to remind ourselves just how fortunate we are that, we can put food on the table and we're not like starving to death. I mean, there's just so many crazy things going on. And I think it's been a particularly hard year for pretty much everybody, but especially in, visas and travel, because everything kind of came to a standstill. So we're really excited about this year, this new administration, and what that means for traveling again. We have vaccinations coming out, maybe there will be some, semblance of normalcy by the end of the year. And, Argo is excited for the business and ready to help people, especially given the past administration's stance on visas and immigration.
Yeah, and hopefully the administration puts more money towards the foreign officer corps, because there's just not enough officers. It's going to be such a large number of people needing visa appointments now that are just backed up. That there's huge delays. Hopefully, I mean, just to train someone to get to the point to be a consular officer is going to take a year or so or more. But just kind of bulk up the reserve so we could get these cases out, because it's going to. I mean, I don't know how they're going to handle the volume when it does open up. It's going to be a wild time the next 2 years with the delays and everything.
It's going to be really crazy. Yeah, I think last I read, there's something like crazy, like 380,000 immigrant visas that's like in a backlog with the State Department. So, gosh, I don't envy consular officers right now. I think it's a really tough job, and a lot of really good people left during the previous administration. So, let's see where they go with this. I really hope we can get people through the backlog, because people need to be with their families. They need to be reunited. They need to be able to travel and see them.
With your connections, are you hearing about some officers potentially going back or getting out of private practice, going back to work for states, or is that happening?
I think so. Most people don't know this, but foreign service officers, once they leave the department, they actually, assuming they're tenured, they actually have a 5-year period where they can go back.
Wow.
You can go through this process where you get, taken back in. I actually haven't heard of a lot of people contemplating that. I don't know if it was just the last administration was a really tough time for us, foreign service officers. Well, maybe they're just wanting some time off and away from that. But there is the option. It just hasn't been used.
Between, going to practice immigration law for attorneys or working for services like Argo, there's all these other opportunities that are there for them. So it kind of, it's something that wasn't there before, the first to be able to just jump in and do kind of stuff and keep it going. But It's a fascinating practice. If people haven't listened, I wish I had the episode number, but we did an in-depth interview about all the different embassies and consulates you worked at and your thoughts on how processing happened. So it's definitely something to catch. If people wanted to learn more about Argo and catch up with you, any emails or social media accounts that you would give out?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can visit us at argovisa.com. Now we have an Instagram account, we have a Twitter account. So Argo Visa, if you do a search for us, you can find us. I also regularly do YouTube videos on just sort of tips and insights from behind the visa window. And I hope to see you there and hear from you.
If a lawyer did want to have they have a client who wants to get a student visa and their student visa is really they're like sometimes they're really nervous and stuff. How do
Yeah.
they go about connecting with you? They just tell the client to go to your website, or what are the next steps?
Yeah. So the best way is, if they just have a one-off client who really need our help to prepare them, do mock interviews with them, just have them sign up for a consultation directly at argovisa.com. If it's something that they see as more of a long-term practice where they would like to build Argo's consultations into their client process and include our services, we're definitely interested in that. So if you visit argovisa.com, you can click on become a partner and send us your contact information and we'll reach out to you.
Oh, fascinating. So you just have a consistent uh, every client just goes and does it on a system. It's just not a one-off. Okay, that's very interesting. I didn't realize that service was offered. That's what Envoy did. I get on a large scale, I guess. But
Yes, exactly. So if you become an Argo partner, you can actually purchase consultations in bulk, at a discount, and that way it really gives your clients the best experience possible, so they feel ready for it, and that confidence is really important at the actual visa interview.
yeah. And is there specific language people, if the interview needs to happen in a certain language, the officers like that, or are they usually just English? How does it work?
Yeah, so with our current team of Argo officers, we actually speak 10 different languages.
Mhm.
And, officers have to feel fluent enough to conduct an Argo
Yeah.
consultation language before they say hey, I speak Russian or I speak Chinese. So it's pretty cool. So a lot of times clients who come to us will say, hey, I actually really want to conduct my consultation in Russian, and they can elect to do that with an officer who speaks that language. Of course, for certain types of visas, for example, if you're applying for a student visa, most of those interviews take place at embassies and consulates in English. So even if you do want to speak your native language with us, we're happy to do that, but we'll probably do our mock interviews in English just to make sure you're the most prepared.
Yeah, because I think it was you or maybe Chris Richardson told me if you're getting a student visa and you can't, you're going to university here and you can't speak English, it kind of is like a huge red flag of, well, how are you going to study there if you can't carry on a simple interview with me?
That's exactly right. Yeah, we don't like to have people left in the country not knowing how to get around. We're worried that they might get kidnapped or something.
And would the attorney be on the line too usually, or is it's just you have a private one-on-one with the client? How would the attorney be involved in that?
So Argo is really set up, our platform is set up for a one-on-one experience between the former consular officer and the client. If you are an immigration attorney getting to know us for the first time, we do allow you to connect via a separate device, the first time or the second time, just so you can get a sense for exactly what goes on during the consultations.
Yeah.
But really, I think the important thing is the communication between the ex-visa officer and the client to let them know how to be the most successful, how to articulate things a certain way.
And it's kind of good not having the crutch of the lawyer there, because sometimes they'll kind of turn to the lawyer and say, "Hey, what did I say?" or something like. Say, "No, I'm just a ghost here. I'm not really supposed to be taking part in this." Oh, that's really interesting to know. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think most immigration attorneys I know are just already so busy. They have so much to do. They would probably prefer not to have to, babysit these consultations. And we want to show you guys we really know what we're talking about based on years of experience adjudicating, looking through DS 160s or DS 260s, really understanding how the bureaucracy works and, how you can be the most effective in the few minutes that you have with a consular officer.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mandy, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on and contributing an article and all the friendship that we've had since you left the diplomatic corps. But hopefully when COVID dies down, or that's not a good way to phrase it, when COVID calms down,
Yeah.
hopefully that virus dies and leaves us alone. We could catch up either in LA or San Francisco. Definitely stay in touch, and we'll talk soon.
I really hope so too, John. And thanks so much for your friendship. And I look forward to more great things from you.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Mandy. Talk soon.
All right. Bye-bye.